Hello girls, in today's session we try to learn agarose gel electrophoresis. Electrophoresis. What do you understand by this term, electrophoresis? It is nothing but movement of the charged molecules under the influence of electric field. Then what is agarose gel electrophoresis? Agarose gel electrophoresis is nothing but the bioanalytical method to analyze the DNA molecule by separating it using agarose gel. Now in the slide you could visualize three different segments. The first segment is showing the casting of agarose gel in the casting gel tray by pouring the molten agarose, where the comb is fitted onto the casting tray. So this enables the formation of well where you can load DNA sample. In the second segment, you could see the loading of DNA sample into the formed well, which is shown in blue color. This blue color is nothing but bromophenol blue, the tracking dye. This enables the DNA to move across the gel. Not only that, you can visualize the movement of DNA in the gel. The third segment that shows the electrophoresis tank, which is connected with power pack behind, which is ready to run. What is agarose? Agarose is a polysaccharide obtained from the red algae, Porphyra umbilicalis. It is an inert matrix, which means it doesn't bear any charge. DNA itself bears charge, that is negative, which is being run on this agarose, which is an inert material. So the agarose concentration, if you increase, you can separate DNA of high molecular weight, whereas if you decrease the concentration of agarose, you can separate the high molecular weight. So this slide shows the electrophoretic apparatus. So the electrophoretic apparatus contains slots for sample, which is shown in the formation of well, and you could see the electrodes which are being connected to the power pack. And this is a buffer solution where you can pour the solution. Then the blue color band which is given, that is the DNA which got separated, and this shows the movement of DNA from the well to the bottom of the gel. So the DNA is loaded on the top of the gel where it is lined with the cathode, that is negative electrode. Since DNA is negatively charged molecule, it flows through the positive electrode, which is nothing but anode. So anode is marked red in the power card. So in the power pack also it is marked red, that is anode, which is positive electrode. So cathode is marked black in color. Electrophoresis tank and power pack are shown here, and the mold of the gel. The mold of the gel is nothing but casting tray. So several size of casting trays are available in the market. You can choose the right size. If you want to separate more sample, then you can choose the larger casting tray. If your sample size is very small, you can go for choosing the small one. Also, if you want to have more clarity, more band separation, you can choose the larger one. Accordingly, you can choose the gel casting tray. So the gel casting tray is rectangular in size, where both ends are open. You have to seal with seal tape at both the ends. Now once it is sealed, now you have to place the comb in right position. Then you have to pour agarose. So agarose range, again it ranges from 0.7 to 2 grams per 100 ml. So if you choose lower concentration, say 0.7 gram per 100 ml, if the concentration of agarose is very low, you can separate DNA of larger size or larger molecular weight. Suppose if the concentration of agarose is too high, say 2 grams per 100 ml, you can separate low molecular weight DNA. So this is the basic principle that forms agarose gel electrophoresis. You have to boil it thoroughly. After boiling for 10 minutes and allowing agarose to completely dissolve, then you have to pour the gel into the casting tray. You should leave it for 30 minutes to 1 hour. Allow it to solidify. Now your gel is ready. Carefully remove the comb. Now you could see the well formation there, which is nothing but slots wherein you can load your DNA sample. Now, the buffer electrophoresis normally we use is TAE or tris borate buffer. So, based on ionic strength of these two buffer, the separation is done accordingly. Again, you have to standardize the buffer of your right choice. Loading buffer, it contains a dense material, that is densitar, nothing but glycerol. This glycerol, it will allow the DNA sample to come to the bottom or to settle at the bottom. Thereby it makes uniform run once it is connected to electric field. So that is the purpose. Also, this loading buffer not only contains your sample DNA, glycerol, but also it contains bromophenol blue, which is a tracking dye. As the name suggests, tracking dye, it tracks the position of DNA while running in the gel. So since DNA is basically a colorless material, agarose, the matrix is also colorless, it is very hard to detect your DNA while running in the gel. So in order to track the position of DNA in the gel, you are adding the staining material or tracking material, what is called bromophenol blue, along with the loading buffer. Ethidium bromide is normally added in agarose itself while casting gel, but some people use this ethidium bromide as a staining material once gel is over. It is again according to the choice we make. But we should handle this ethidium bromide more carefully because it is a carcinogen, potent carcinogen, and it can cause cancer. How does it function, ethidium bromide? Actually, this is an intercalating material which intercalates between bases of nucleic acid, that is DNA, and thereby when the gel that stains with ethidium bromide is placed on UV transilluminator, this ethidium bromide by absorbing the UV light, it will allow the DNA molecule to fluoresce, thereby you can detect the DNA in the gel. So this is basically used as a detector, ethidium bromide, right? Then transilluminator, again this is another apparatus, UV transilluminator normally we use just to eliminate your DNA sample. That is the only purpose of using this instrument. It will allow the DNA sample to fluoresce because of ethidium bromide in the UV light. So one should handle this very carefully. So it may cause irritation to your eye if you view your DNA sample while placing it on UV transilluminator. So normally you have to wear goggles or you have to have some kind of shield where you cannot directly expose yourself. So principles and factors already we had seen. Agarose concentration that plays a major role. Lower the concentration, larger the molecule of DNA which can be separated. Voltage electrophoresis buffer. Again, normally we use a TAE or TBE buffer. Based on the ionic strength, it separates the DNA molecule. Normally we try to give 5 volts per centimeter. If your DNA, you have to calculate accordingly. You have to measure the length of your gel and accordingly you have to calculate the voltage. But basically we try to give, for medium size gel, we normally give 100 millivolts. 100 millivolts. Or if you want to have effective separation, you can leave it to 50 millivolts. Too low voltage or too high voltage should not be given. Too high voltage can melt your sample or melt your gel. Too high voltage, too low voltage may not give better separation. So you have to go for standardizing the same. So effects of ethidium bromide, again it should not be more than 5 microgram per 100 ml. So all these factors should be borne in your mind while performing this agarose gel electrophoretic technique. Already we have seen the concentration of agarose. Increasing the concentration, it separates fragments of smaller size DNA. Voltage again, 5 volts per centimeter, that is the normal voltage given, but the recommended voltage is 100 millivolts. Electrophoretic buffer, TAE, TBE buffer is normally we use, but in case if mistakenly if you have added water as a buffer, you could not see the movement of DNA in the gel, because since it doesn't contain any electrolyte, pure water doesn't contain any electrolyte, it will not cause the movement or migration of DNA in your sample. Effects of ethidium bromide, already we had seen it's a fluorescent material which intercalates between the bases of nucleic acid. So you could see in this electrophoregram, what the picture that is given, DNA bands are fluoresce in orange color in a purple background, right? That is the background of this agarose given. So in this background, so the background, the purple color is due to the fluorescence of this UV lamp, the light which falls on agarose directly. So wherever your DNA molecules are there, this ethidium bromide intercalates and it fluoresces in orange color. So the next tank filled with buffer that you could see. The next picture, that is electrophoregram. So the first one is a marker DNA, where you have the DNA that are arranged in low molecular weight order right from the bottom to top, and it is a PCR product that you could visualize band in the third gel as a discrete band. So this is how it looks like once DNA gets separated. So this is again another electrophoregram I am trying to show, where the first lane contains marker DNA and the separated DNA samples. So applications, it is used in analysis of PCR products. It is used in restriction mapping, separation of restricted genomic DNA for sudden transfer, etc. Right? Also it is used to analyze separate DNA from the large sample, and also it is used to analyze various biomolecules like DNA and RNA. So protein is not separated in agarose gel. So PCR products, all these are listed. Thank you.